Hello, Jennifer. Hi there. How are you? Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jenny. Hello there. Hi, Jill. Good afternoon. Happy New Year. Hello, Lynn. Good afternoon. Hello there. Happy New Year, Jane. Happy New Year, everybody. Hello, Sue. Hello, Sue. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all well. Hello, Holly. Hello, you're not working. Yay. Happy New Year, Diane. Big hugs. Hello, Patricia. Hello there. Hi, Shelley. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Hello, Linda. Hi there. Good afternoon. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope everybody's well. Good afternoon, Susan. Good afternoon. Hello, Madeline. How was your crafting going? Did your crafting go well? Hello, Jane. Hi, Flower. How are you? Hi, Sue. Good afternoon. Hi, Flower. Happy New Year. Hi, June. Hi, Janet. Hello, Chuck. How are you? Watching in the car, waiting to pick my son up from work. Oh, bless Ali. Happy New Year, Margaret. Hello, Janice. Hello there. Happy New Year. Thank you, Mary. The same to you. Hello, Chantal. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, Happy New Year all. 2021. Wow. I was reminiscing back to the year 2000 when my daughter was born. Crikey. Hello, Helen. Hello there. Happy New Year. Hi, Louise. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, Louise. Hello, Isabel. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Elaine. Couldn't get my words out then. Lovely to see you all. It's lovely to see you all. Hello, Andrea. Hello, Harriet. Good afternoon. Happy New Year. I'm well pleased. Oh, that's good, Madeline. It's nice when you have a good creative session and it works out well. Thanks, Patricia. Here's to positive thoughts and an enjoyable time together. Hear, hear, Patricia. Hi, Sarah. Hello, Liz. Good afternoon, everybody. May there be many crafting days together. I think we're going to have quite a few, don't you, Elizabeth? I haven't got my new ones on because my dog made a mess of my pyjamas, so I had to wash them. So I've now got Ian's pyjamas on again. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you very much. So good afternoon, everybody, and Happy New Year. Hello, Joe. Hello, Joe. I got married in 2000, did you, Jennifer? That's when my daughter was born. That's when my daughter was born. Actually, funnily enough, Diane, my wrist is fine apart from when I lift. You know, when I lift things in the garden, then it starts to swell up here. But apparently, torn ligaments can take up to a year to disappear fully. I couldn't believe it. Hi, Debbie. Happy New Year, Flower. Hello, Debbie. So yeah, so I thought I'd come on New Year's Day because I was at a bit of a lull and I couldn't get going, and I thought the perfect way to get going is to do a Facebook Live. That gets me going. Hi, Karen. Hello there. Hi, Pat. Hello there. Thanks, Lynn. Thank you. So I've got a little giveaway for anybody who hasn't got the stamp. I've got a little giveaway. It's to one randomly drawn winner. And it's this little stamp set for anybody that hasn't got it. I'd got a spare one. So it's a new stamp set. So it's to one randomly drawn winner. So if you haven't got this stamp, if you can let me know, and then I can put you in the draw. Hello, back in Ian's pyjamas. I'm back in Ian's pyjamas. You're very welcome, Karen. How are you? I had torn ligaments in my foot and it did take a... Yeah, that's what the doctor said to him. It can take up to a year. Can't believe it. No, this isn't a sneak peek. This is just a giveaway. A giveaway. So this is a little giveaway. So if you want to be in that, just let me know, because I know some of you have got it. Happy New Year, Diane. Happy New Year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a journal page. Thanks, Louise. Hello, Monica. Hello there. Thanks, Hanny. Thank you. So I'm going to do a journal page. I haven't got it. Oh, that's good, Ruby, that some haven't got it. So I can put a few people in the draw. Wow, I love this. Got your set. So this would fit right in. Please put me in the draw. Brilliant, Linda. Thank you. Brilliant. Hello, Sid. Hello there. Happy New Year. Hello, Maggie. Hello, Rusty Maggie. Hello there. So I'm going to do a journal page. You're very welcome, Monica. I'm going to do a journal page, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it on an 8x8 piece of card. I've done the prep in the journal page. I've done the prep in the journal page. So if you want to work direct in your journal, that's fine. I'll work first on a piece of 8x8 card, and then I can adhere that to my page in another page in the journal. So I'm just starting on an 8x8 piece of card just to get me started before the prep, because I had to do a bit of prep to let the texture paste dry. What did Diane say? You're very welcome. No problem at all. Hello, Rizwana. Happy New Year. Yes, please. No problem, Angela. No problem, Joe. Thank you. No problem, Patricia. Brilliant. Just nipped in to say hi. Hello, Serena. Hope work's going okay. I hope work's going okay. Thanks, Andrea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on an 8x8 no problem, Serena, an 8x8 piece of card. And the reason I'm starting on the white card is because I've had to prep my journal pages. Brilliant. No problem, Charlene. Thanks, Erica. No problem, Lynn. So I'm going to start on an 8x8 piece of card. Now, you can either start on card and add the card to your journal page, like I've done here. Then I'll have two that I can add to the journal pages. Or you can start direct in your journal, because I'll be going direct into the journal afterwards. My journal, Debbie, is the Square Journal by Diane Reevely, because I love the paper in there. I love the card that's in there. Of course you can, Susan. So I love the card that's in there. So what you need to do is, if you've got scraps of card, you need some strips of card. You just need some random strips of card. So you can cut them any size, any shape, any length. It doesn't matter. You just want some strips of card. All right, no problem at all, Dawn. So I'm just starting with some strips of card. And I'm just starting the first piece on a piece of square card, but I'll then be going to my journal. Happy New Year, Tracy. Happy New Year. And to the nutty ladies, Happy New Year, Dawn. So, yes, I'm going to start with some scraps of card. And I'm doing it on an 8x8 piece of card like I've done here, but I'll be going to my journal where I've prepped. But it's up to you if you start on the card and then add these to your journal, or go direct into your journal. It's entirely up to you, whatever you do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, and it's lovely just having an hour or so just to create. I was feeling a bit, I don't know, I needed to get started on something. Do you ever feel like that? And give measurements, begin, let me make sure demos. Oh, that's my pleasure, Linda, my absolute pleasure. So that's 8 inches square. Now you can work direct in your journal, or you can do it on card first and then adhere it to the journal. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just using some scraps of card, and it doesn't matter if you're working direct in your journal, because I'll be going to the journal afterwards, because I did the prep beforehand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere some of these strips of card just to the 8 by 8 piece of card. And the strips of card are not measured. Hello, Debbie. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Deb. Hope you had a peaceful Christmas. So I'm just adding these strips of card to my 8 by 8 piece of card. Just made all my thank you cards. Oh, brilliant, Hayley, using the poppy stamp. Brilliant. Yes, but the cleaning can wait, because I I got started on watching it. Bless Lindy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add these random pieces of card to my page. And I like using these random bits of card mainly because I end up with stacks of them. So I like to use them rather than just bin them. I don't bin them, I tend to use them rather than just binning them. So I'm just adding these random pieces of card, and I'm overlaying some as well. I'm overlaying some of the card. I ordered some more distress oxides this morning and can't wait for my orders to... Oh, Monica, you'll love them, Monica. I love the distress oxides. So I'm just adding the strips of card, and as you can see, I'm overlaying so that they overlay. So they look a bit like wood panelling because I'm overlaying the card. Must walk the dog, but would love your bird stamp as well. No problem, Carol, no problem at all. So I'm just adding these strips of card just randomly, just to add some texture. I love adding texture this way. And I've even got these little tiny strips, look. These little tiny strips, you can use them as well. Use your tiny strips of card. You can use all them. So you can do this directly in your journal, or you can do it as separate pages and then adhere the separate pages to your journal. I've done it both ways. I've done it both ways. So it's entirely up to you how many strips of card you add. Open Facebook and see that you're live. Yay, Karen. How are you, Flower? How are you, Karen? Hope you've had a peaceful Christmas. Happy New Year, Laura. Happy New Year and welcome. So you just keep adding these strips of card like so. Just add these strips of card. So don't bin them because they come in quite useful. Exactly, great way of using offcuts. And you can overlay on the top or the bottom. It's entirely up to you. So you just add those strips of card. Tracy can't stick because her hands are all over the place. Just add those strips of card and then chuck the rest on the floor like you do. So I've now got those strips of card. I'll just wipe my surface just because I've got bits of glue. And it doesn't matter if you add this direct to your journal. And I'm just going to trim these. I'm just going to trim these. I don't think I've glued that one very well. I'm just going to trim these. Hello, hello there, Karen. So I'm just going to trim these just so that they fit the page nicely, just so that they fit the page nicely. There we go. Just gives me my texture. It just gives me my texture. Happy birthday, Karen. Happy birthday. So you've got your texture like so. And the only thing I just want to say that I love you guys and you, Tracy. Oh, Joe, that is so lovely. Bless you, Joe. Bless you. So what I'm going to do is I've got 3 circles. I've got it. I'm sure it's Joe's birthday near mine as well. I just use the tonic glue, Linda. Unless I'm doing really dimensional pieces, then I use the ultra thick gel medium. I'm using 300 GSM, but any card. You could use 250 GSM. Any scraps of card you've got, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what scraps of card you've got. You can use any scraps, but this is 300 GSM. I've used 250 GSM, 200 GSM. It really doesn't matter. And I've got these circles here that are around about 2 3/4 inches in width. Just in 2 3/4 inches in width. Joe's lovely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere these circles. I'm going to adhere these circles. Somebody else, it's a January birthday like me. So I'm just going to adhere these circles like so. Now, the only thing you need to do is make sure that you've got good adhesion. Hello, Marianne. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And everybody's saying happy birthday, Karen. Have a good day. So I'm just adding these, spit it out, Tracy, circles. I'm just adding some die cut circles to my piece. And me, what does that mean? It's your birthday as well, Karen, or you're just answering somebody? Oh, you're all in January. Jane's is the 15th of January. Mine's the 7th. Wow. There's a few of us that have got January birthdays. There's a few of us. It's just the other tonic glue. I have whatever tonic glue I can get. So it's all tonic glue. It's whatever I can get my hand on. Whatever I can get my hands on. So I use the tonic glue. I'm using the reverse of Centaura Pearl card, but Pink Frog card is absolutely fine. I'm the 10th. Wow, there's so many January birthdays. And Lindsay's the 4th. Wow. You see, best people are born in January. Thank you, Pauline. Happy New Year. It is fantastic, Jennifer. It is fantastic. So I just want you, and I think it was Jennifer that told me it was on offer last time, so I bought it when Jennifer told me. So just make sure that you've got good adhesion. So can you see I've got good adhesion on there? It's nicely stuck down. Are you just stopping in for a peek, Laura? Lovely to see you. So I've now got some lovely texture. Now, I've done that in my journal on both sides of my journal page. I love it as well, Monica. I've done this on both sides of my journal page. So when I go to my journal, I've repeated this on both sides of the journal. But if you're following me along, then you can just do this on a page and then add it to your journal. So I'm just doing that. I got loads of this just before Christmas as it was on offer. That's what I did, Jill. I got it on offer as well. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some texture paste. Oh, and it's your son's on the 16th. You see, best people born in January. Let me just cough now. Let me just cough now. So I'm just going to use the Totally Dotty stencil. I'm going to use the Totally Dotty stencil. And I'm going to add some texture paste. I'm going to add some texture paste just over. And I'm not going to scrape at it too much. I'm just adding some texture paste there. And then I'll probably turn it round and add a little bit more on this side. I'll probably turn it round and add a little bit more on this side. Just a little bit, not too much. So that I've got that. And I'm just going to take a few moments just to clean up. Yes, Tonic Glue do January sales on the essentials. Oh, I'll be looking out for that then, because I need some more. Oh, bless her. Thank you, Art Boo. Thank you. I will lift this up just so you can see where I've added the texture, but I'm just cleaning my mess up just so that my stencil is nice and clean. Now I can't do the lid on my texture paste. I can't fasten the lid. I've suddenly gone all weak. Obviously, I'm all weak. So I'm just going to clean my stencil. And you could actually clean your stencil onto a piece of scrap card because you'd get another background then. If you cleaned it onto scrap card, you'd get another background. If you cleaned the texture paste onto a piece of scrap card, you'd then get another background. My darling Nan's birthday today. Oh, bless Debbie. So I'm just going to give my stencil a dry because I need to use it again. But as you can see, this gives me the base. Did you do this straight onto your journal pages? Yes, I did, Pauline. I'm doing it on card just to show what the prep was. Just to show what the prep was. But you can do it on card if you want and then glue it to your journal, which is what I've done before as well. I've done that before, but I've done it directly in my journal. So as you can see, I've got the texture paste here. I'm just going to bring in my journal. Let me bring in my journal so you can see. So I've got it on both sides of my journal. I'm using Daler Rowney texture paste, Suzanne. I'm using Daler Rowney texture paste because it's my favourite. But my page has got a few dirty marks on here from previous work, but that doesn't bother me. So I've got it on both journal pages. But if you want, you can do the journal page like this on blank card and then adhere it to your journal. So you can do it. I've got them all, so I purchased nothing. So you can add this to your journal page if you want. You can just stick it in. So it's up to you whether you do it on the card or you do it direct in your journal. It's entirely up to you. And what you can do is you can heat dry that texture paste if you wish. But if you heat dry it, don't hold your heat gun too close or else it'll bubble. I'm 60 on the 10th. Wow. Oh, never mind, Maureen. You can celebrate another time. So I've now got my journal pages. Hello, Katie. Hello there. I've now got my journal pages here. So it's all nicely prepped. It's all got beautiful texture. This journal is 8.5. It's Diane Reevely's square one. And it's 8.5 by 8.5. It's her square one. I think it's the only square one she does. It's her square one. But it's 8 by 8 pages. So yes, I think the journal measures 8.5 and the pages inside are 8 inches. It's not that flat, to be honest. It's only just started, don't forget, Lynn. I've only just started my journal. So this page is meant to coordinate. The pages that we're doing today is meant to coordinate with these pages that we did the other day. So it's meant to coordinate with these pages that we did the other day and to coordinate with these pages that we did that's on my pre-recorded workshop. So it's meant to coordinate with those pages, just so that if you've bought the products, you're doing a lot more with them, so that, you know, you can do a lot more with them. So that's the pre-recorded workshop. That's the journal page that we did the other day, and it's meant to coordinate with that. And that's what we're doing with these pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a blank page in between, just in case I get in a bit of a mess. Oh, thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Gayla. Welcome. Happy New Year, Gayla. So what I'm going to do now is try to make myself some space, because there's no space anywhere. I can't move. I can hardly move. Let me just move these out the way. Move these out the way. And what I'm going to use, because some of you bought it anyway. Hello, Ginny. Happy New Year. I'm using the frayed burlap distress oxide spray. And exactly the square book of circles. I didn't do all circles. Look, there's some pages that haven't got circles. That's the workshop we're doing in January. That's the workshop we're doing in January. So that hasn't got circles. And then I did another page, I think. Oh, that has got circles. And then another one where I added my flower and wrote notes. So it's not all. Some of it's changed. What was that? Elastic band around the lid, and if that doesn't work, run it under the tap for a couple of minutes. Yes. So it's just, I'm just starting my journal. I've not done many pages. I've just started my journal. So I've not done many pages yet, but I'm getting quite into it now. I'm just getting quite into it. So you've got your pages. Yeah, but I like them thick, Gabby. I like them when they're all thick and bulky. I like that. I love it when they're all thick and bulky. I'm a bit strange. But the idea of this page is it coordinates with previous other pages. So what you're meant to do with the Distress Oxide sprays is not shake them up and down. You're meant to shake them like this. If you shake them up and down, you get a lot of leakage. You get a lot of leakage if you shake them up and down. So I just shake my... No problem, Catherine. No problem at all. You can catch up later. I'm glad you enjoyed your walk. I still like doing my cards and my mixed media, but I'm doing some journal pages because I've got a journal and I wanted to use it. So I've sprayed that, and I'm just going to add some of the frayed burlap to my page. That's all I'm going to add so far. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz with a bit of water. I'm not drowning the pages. I'm just spritzing with a bit of water. I'm not drowning it. I'm just spritzing it with some water. And then I'm just allowing it to manoeuvre. I'm just allowing it to manoeuvre down the page. Just allowing it to drip down the page. Might be my new fad. Yes, so you just need to just shake the bottles like this. Don't shake them up and down. Then you won't get as many blockages. I haven't had a problem yet. I haven't had a problem yet. You never know. It might happen, but I've been doing as I've been told and shaking the correct way. So as you can see, I'm just adding that. And if you want, you can just allow it to move down your page as well if you want. Just if you want some more. I like it when it goes inside the page as well, inside the join. I am totally collecting stash. Don't have sprays yet. I watch demos and take advice on products so that I do not waste money. Yes, you don't want to waste your money. And also, it's best if you watch a few demos and see if that's the kind of product you want. Because if that's the kind of product you don't want, then you know not to waste your money. You know not to waste your money. So I'm just spraying. I just want a little bit more depth. A little bit more depth. And you can allow it to drip if you want. But I don't want too many drippages here, because I do want some white space or cream space. I do want some open space. It's important that I have some open space. Hello, Sam. So, yes, it's important that I have that open space. I don't want to, and I don't want to drown it with water either. And I also want to make sure that some of it gathers around here as well. That some of it gathers around here. And can you see, as the page dries, I love this, Lynn, I love it. Of course we don't, Terry. It's lovely to see you. Hello, Frederic from Montreal, Quebec. Wow, how wonderful. Welcome, Happy New Year, and thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Happy New Year, lovely. Hello, Jane. Happy New Year. So what I want to do now is I want to allow those pages to rest. I'm a great believer in allowing the pages to rest. Mainly because you then get some of this blue tinge. You get some of this blue tinge. It's really easy showing your journal when it's a double page spread, not. So you get some of this grey blue tinge. So I love when you allow the ink to sit, you get some of that tinge. So I love it when you get some of that. And you've got no control how it's going to work. It just depends on how much water you spray. It just depends how much water you spray. And if you want to add more depth, just add a little bit more and then just spray with water. If you want to add a little bit more texture and more colour and more depth, just add a little bit more and then spray. Spray with water just to get it to react. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the little lid from the page. I'm just wondering whether to give this, I think I'll just give this a few moments just to settle a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of the Distress Oxide spray to my non-stick craft sheet. Just adding some to my non-stick craft sheet. And what I'm going to do, it does look like metal, doesn't it, Linda? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my lid from my Distress Oxide spray and I'm going to dip it in the spray. And then I'm just going to add a few circles with my lid using the Distress Oxide spray. Just adding a few circles, trying to keep it so it's still in the picture, which is easier said than done when you've got a double page spread. It's easier said than done when you've got a double page spread. So I'm just using the the Distress Oxide spray and dipping my lid into there. Just dipping my lid into the Distress Oxide spray. Can you show us the bottle of colours you used, please? I've only used one colour. I've only used frayed burlap, Linda. I've only used frayed burlap. I've literally used one colour. I love the different colour, the different tones you get with this one spray. But I've only used the one colour, Linda. I haven't used several. I've just used the one colour. I've just used the one colour. That's all I've used. So I'm just going to lift my page up so you can see. And then I'm just going to wipe my lid, and then I'll bring the page in a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. I'll bring the page in just so you can see what I'm doing. This is what I've got so far. This is what I've got so far. And the longer it dries, the more of the grey blue tone that you get. The longer that it dries, and the longer you allow it to dry naturally. Made it at last. Hello, Hilary. Happy New Year. That's amazing. Got to put that on my way. You're very welcome. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this on one side just for a moment. Just place it on one side for a moment. Now, if you wanted, where's my pages gone? If you want, you can add it to separate pages like this. It works exactly the same in separate pages. So when you spray it with water, it then reacts and you get the grey-blue tinge. But you can add it to separate pages if you want to and add that to your journal. I've done it both ways. But look how the circles also react. Look how those circles also react that I did with the little circle lid. I mean, that on its own looks good, just on its own with nothing else. It looks brilliant just on its own. So I'm just going to move that on one side. She said, one side that I don't have. One side that I don't have. And what I've done is I've cut out 3 of my beetles. I've cut out 3 of my beetles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of colour to those. Happy New Year, Linda. Happy New Year. It looks fab when the colours all react. I really like it. So what I've done is I've cut out 3 of my beetles, and what I'm going to do is just add a little touch of blue with my polychromo pencils. I'm just going to add a touch of blue to the beetles. I've used my beetle stamps and the beetle dye, so I'm just going to colour lightly with the blue. I love the grey blue colour from the Distress Oxide spray. I do think it's important just to allow that spray to rest. I think it works better with the pages when you allow them to rest. Now, the idea is these pages coordinate with the previous pages we've done. I didn't want to just leave you with one page and then not show you a different way to do it. The previous page we used the gel press, so I wanted to show you a different way. Oh, thank you, Lynette. Thank you. So I'm just giving this a little bit of colour. I'm just giving a little bit of colour to my beetle. Just a little bit of colour to the beetles. Now, if you're using your polychromo pencils, you will obviously take your time when you're colouring, because that's how you get the depth of colour. You don't get depth of colour unless you take time to layer those colours. Do you know if the only spray... No, I think some of the other sprays change colour, but not all of them. I don't know which other ones because I haven't tested yet. The frayed burlap was one of the first ones I bought, and then I've got the speckled egg because I like the speckled egg anyway. So it was one of the first ones I bought, and then when I was playing with it, I noticed that it changed colour, and that was it. I was hooked. So I then had to buy another bottle. So I was hooked then. So I'm just adding a touch of shading just to my beetles because I want to bring out that grey blue in the page. I want to bring out that grey blue in the page. So I'm just adding some layers of colour. I'm just adding some layers of colour to each of my beetles. And I love adding the beetles to the pages. I may add some wings to one of the beetle as well. I may add some wings. Yes, I have the Faber-Castell pencil sharpener for mine. I have the Faber-Castell pencil sharpener for mine. I know, you're very welcome, Ginny. I know, you're very welcome. Thank you. So I'm just adding some shading with my polychromo pencils. Just a little bit of shading. And you would take your time. You wouldn't rush like I'm doing with your colouring. you wouldn't rush with your colouring. You'd take your time. You would take your time just to add that bit of shading. It is worth it with the polychromos just to add the layers of colour. There's no point rushing it. And it's also good to work with a sharp pencil. If you work with a sharp pencil, you get better layering, because you add light touches of that colour. You don't add too much. You add light layering. I didn't think so. Tim was going to some Facebook Lives, and I remember right there was at least other colours that did the same thing. Yes, there are other colours that do the same thing. I just don't know which ones, because I'm just collecting my sprays, because I like the sprays to do more than one thing. That's why I did it with the gel press the other day as well, just so I can show you different things. I don't like it if a product is a one-trip wonder. If it's a one-trip wonder, then I don't buy it. Happy New Year, Kim. Happy New Year, Kim. So I do like it when there's a bit, and I can add some colour to these beetles afterwards. I can add some more colour to these beetles afterwards. But you know what I mean by adding a touch of blue. You just need to make sure that you add your shading to your beetles, just so they look, so they coordinate with your background. Is there a number for the dye sprays? The dye sprays? The dye? Do you mean the dye for the beetles? The dye for the beetles is #23. Yes, it will go on YouTube, Flower. It will go on YouTube. Oh, they were on a Chanda one day special and you got a little trick. Yes. So yes, it's 23. Oh, thank you, Karen. Thank you. So we've got the 3 beetles there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just collecting little... You're very welcome, Roz. I'm just collecting little bits to add to my page. I've cut them out of 300 GSM, the back of Centura Pearl again. So I've cut them out of 300 GSM. 300 GSM I've cut them out of. And you know the trick to cutting them out, don't you? The trick to cutting them out. So yes, I've cut them out of 300 GSM. 300 GSM. So what I've got here is I've got a piece of black card. Hello, Vanessa. Happy New Year. And I'm going to use my splattered numbers stamp, just because I want some more touches of black and white. I want some more touches of black and white. So what I'm going to do is another scrap of paper. And we will be going back to the journal page. We will be going back to the journal page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink with Versamark ink. I'm going to ink the number 5, and the number 4 that are in circles, because that seems quite apt for my page. So I'm just going to stamp those onto my page because they work quite well. Sorry, no, what's the trick? I'll show you the trick when cutting out the dies. Just bear with me a second. So I'm just going to... I'll show you how to do the trick with the dies. So I've just embossed those numbers in white. And then I'll just show you the trick with the dies. Just bear with me a second. Right, I'm just going to heat these up first, then I'll show you the trick. I'm just going to emboss these. The previous video, yes, is on YouTube. The previous video is on YouTube. And then the other journal page is a pre-recorded class, but the other one is on YouTube. So I'm just heating my numbers just to get the white embossing. I put them all on YouTube. So let me show you the trick with the beetles. Let me see if I've got the beetles. There we go. So what you do is, first of all, you cut yourself the beetle and you keep the aperture. You keep the aperture. You get the correct beetle stamp. You get the correct beetle stamp, which in this case is this one. And what you do is you take your stamps. Let's just use a piece of card or paper. Stamp your stamp. So you take your stamp. So you keep this as a template. Let me see if I can do it without adding it to an acrylic block. You take your stamp. You take your stamp. Hey up, Lindy. So you take your stamp, you stamp it. You stamp it. You should use an acrylic block, not do like I do. Dump your stamp on the floor like you do. And what you do is you use your aperture piece, and line it over your die so that it's lined up, And once you've got it lined up, make sure you've got it lined up. So you've got it lined up like so. So you then have it lined up, and then you place your die into it and it slots into place. There we go, it's slotted into place. Hold it in place with low tack tape, and then you run it through the die cutting machine and you'll get it perfectly lined up. So just hold it down with low tack tape, run it through your die cutting machine, and you'll get it perfectly lined up. So what you need to do is cut yourself the aperture pieces out. Then when you stamp, you place your image over the stamp. Make sure it's lined up. Just repeat this. Do you know, I have more problems lining up than I do anything else. What are you doing, Tracy? It's because I can't. There we go. And then you just place your die inside and you'll feel it slot. It slots in. Hold it down with low tack tape and then run it through your die cutting machine. And then you keep those. So I keep these in my little container just so that I've got them all, because I've got them all cut out, look. And I just keep them in there. And then what you do is you lose the die container. That's it. You lose all your dies because you've just chucked them somewhere. There we go. And then I just keep those all together in the package. So that's the tip for the beetles. Cannot write it down in Dutch. It's English-Dutch mix. It's an English-Dutch mixture. Well, you're doing better than me, Karen. You're doing better than me. So what I'm going to do is I've just embossed these on black card because I just think these will go nicely with my page. They'll go nicely with my page. I may change my mind, but I think they'll go nicely with the page because they've got that rounded shape. So I think it'll go quite nicely. So I've got the number 5. You're very welcome, Terry. No problem, Ginny. See you soon. So I'm just going to cut this out. Just going to cut out these numbers so that I've got a couple. I may use 2, I may use 3. I haven't decided yet. I love using these scissors. I've used these for about 25 years, so I use the same scissors all the time. So let's bring in my page. Whoops. Let's bring in the page that I can hardly move. Let's move these all out of the way. Let's move these. I've got so many bits now that there's hardly any room to put anything. Let's move these pencils out the way. And look how the page is drying. Look how the page is drying. Let's not cover everything up. So the page is drying beautifully. The page is drying beautifully. And I can now dry it a little bit with my heat tool. Because I've allowed it to rest, and because I've given it time for the colour to react, can you even see, if I lift that up, can you see how it even reacts on the texture paste? Can you see how it even reacts on the texture paste? I just love how it reacts on the texture paste. I love how it reacts. It's just so fab. I love how that reacts, that stain. So I'm just going to give the pages a little dry now. But you do need to make sure that if you do this, that all your pieces are stuck down properly. Just make sure all your pieces are stuck down properly. And if you've got the time, just allow it to dry completely naturally. Obviously, I haven't got the time completely to allow it to dry completely naturally. But if you can allow it to dry naturally, allow it to dry naturally. Yes, I love the scissors, Karen. I love the scissors. Just give it a little dry. And just pull my heat tool out again. Just pull my heat tool out again and just grab a piece of kitchen roll just to dab up this bit of moisture here. Just to dab up that bit of moisture. I just love how the pages have turned out. And my idea is that eventually, when I've added a few more bits to the pages, the beetles will go like this. One will go here, one will go here, and one will go here as well, which I might add wings to, which I might actually add wings to, but the beetles will go here like this. So I might add them, they'll be added shortly. Yeah, they do with the, I think it's because they blend nicely with the page already. They do go nicely with the page. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a little bit of stenciling. I'm going to add a little bit of stenciling. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use frayed burlap distress oxide ink. I'm going to use frayed burlap distress oxide ink just to add a few little bits of stenciling. Not much, just a few little bits of stenciling. But I don't want to add too much. I don't want to overtake the page. I don't want to overtake the page. So I'm just adding a little bit of stenciling. And I want it to go over the pieces of card. What scissors are they? These are Pergamano scissors, Christine. Pergamano scissors. They are. They're Pergamano. Pergamano scissors. So I'm just adding a little bit of texture to my pages. Just to each page. It's so difficult to keep the whole 2 pages into the screen. It's quite difficult. So I'm just using the frayed burlap to add some circles. Just to add a few more circles. I'm just using the frayed burlap just to add a few more circles. They are on Amazon. And you can watch out, sometimes they have a deal on Amazon. Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes they have a deal on. So it is worth just checking, just to make sure if they've got any deals on. So I'm just adding a little bit of texture, like so. We're not going to leave it at that. What I'm going to do then is move that out the way, and then going to take the oxide spray again, the oxide spray, and I'm going to add some splatters. I'm going to add some splatters to my page. I'm going to add some splatters. So I'm dipping in my lid into the oxide spray and just adding some splatters to my page. I'm just adding some splatters. No problem, Alison, no problem at all. Doesn't matter that you've missed one bit. And then I'm lightly going to spritz the whole page with water. I'm just lightly spritzing the whole page with water. I've just lightly spritzed it. Just lightly spritz the page, especially where we've got that stenciling. Just lightly spritz the page. And then move that on one side just a little bit longer. Just move that onto one side a little bit longer. But look how the oxide spray has gone on top of the oxide inks, and it's starting to react again. It's starting to react again. Just reacts again. The composition's so important to me, Karen. I'd rather, if the composition isn't working, I would rather not do anything or work on the page if the composition's not working. The oxide spray I'm using, Louise, is frayed burlap. Frayed burlap distress oxide spray. So what I'm going to do is grab some of these wings. I want these wings. Do you know, I always end up with stuff everywhere. But what I'm thinking is, my little beetle would look quite nice with those wings, you see. So I'm going to add wings to my beetle like that, because I think he'd look quite nice. So I'm going to add wings. I've got paint and everything everywhere. Frayed burlap it is. So you're very welcome, Louise. So I'm just going to get some white card. And I'm just going to stamp the wings. And it's lovely because the Facebook Lives now I'm finding quite relaxing, because I've decided I'm not going to rush. I used to panic in case, you know, everybody thought it was too long, but I've decided it's also my time to create, so I'm not going to rush. The wings set is 388, A4 388, and you get all of them. It's 388. So I'm just going to add these wings, like so. Do I want one set or do I want two? Of course we want two sets, don't we? We want two sets. We need two sets, don't we? Oh, bless you, Joe. I had a lovely card from Karen Coppin, and you should see her handwriting. Her handwriting's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I think Joe's got nice handwriting as well. Beautiful handwriting. Oh, bless you, Lynn. So what I'm going to do is, I haven't prepped these because this journal page wasn't prepped. You know, I didn't create it all before the Facebook Live. Some of it I'm going with the flow. So I'm just going to cut out these wings, because I just love the addition of the wings. I just think it'll add another texture and another layer of dimension, and they're quite easy to cut out, so it's not a problem. Very welcome, Karen. So I'm just going to cut these out. I should have shares in I should have shares in quite a few companies, me. Trust me, I need shares in quite a few companies. So I'm just going to cut these out. But I must admit, especially when Ian's watching football, sometimes it's nice just to do a card or a journal page, or just creative for half an hour. So it's just, I just love it. Oh yes, I always move the card round when I'm cutting. I always move the card round rather than the scissors. It's the card that's moved round, not the scissors. It's the actual card that you move around, not the scissors. It makes it far easier and far less stress on the hands. So there's one set of wings. It doesn't take that long. Yeah, I can see why you always end up writing the certificates, Joe, with your writing. I can totally understand that, which is, you know, but I bet everybody comes to you and says, Joe, can you just write this? Joe, can you just write this, because you've got neat handwriting? Yes, I know what that's like. And my writing isn't like yours or Karen's. Spot the teachers, you see. Nice handwriting. So just cutting out those wings. Are any of you working on a project at the moment? Are any of you crafting at the moment? I know Madeline was creating. Madeline was. So I'm just cutting out the wings. Just take my time to cut out the wings. I can't remember what day of the week it is now. I don't even know what day I'm on. All the days have rolled into one, so it's all getting very confusing now. So I lose track of the days of the week. Work back to school soon, being put in nursery this year as their, oh yes. I'm working on my Ink It Layer It book. Oh, brilliant, Jane. I loved creating that project. Love creating that. So I'm just adding some wings because I want wings to my little beetle. There we go. Doing DT stuff for a show and a chander towards the end of the month. Oh yes, I've got Leonie's doing a one-day special with my stamps next week on my birthday. Ha! What do I want to do now? I now just want to add a little bit of blue to one of the wings. And I'm just going to sort of swipe the pencil across the wing just to give it a touch of blue. Just to give it a touch of blue. I'm also trying to find my mica for my pine cone. Sorted one side of the craft room so far. Yay! It's my granddaughter's second birthday, the 14th. So putting her, oh, bless, 2 years old. I remember when mine were 2 years old. Now I just feel decrepit. Don't know what happened. So I'm just adding a touch of blue to the wings. Just adding a touch of blue to the wings. I'm working on a DT project, cutting out butterflies at the moment. Yay! I made my Christmas cards with Tracy stamps and they went down well. Oh, I'm glad they loved them, Lindy. That's the result. I'm glad they loved them. That's nice to know. That is nice to know. So I've just got a touch of blue on the wings because I think that touch of blue will just work quite nicely. I'll just add a touch of the darker tone as well. I know that, see, Jill knows that feeling. She couldn't find her mica tiles, so she gave up. She gave up and added glass glitter. I don't think I've got any glass glitter. I think I used all mine. I haven't got any glass glitter. So just adding a little bit of that blue. Right, let's bring in the journal page now. Let's bring in the journal page. You see, now I'm happy with the background. Now I'm actually happy with the background. It needed a bit more work and now I'm quite happy. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Reverse Dots by Abs. I need to make a baby card for my new grandson due any day. Yay, Suzanne. Some schools are closed here, but not all. So what, do I want brown or do I want black? Just trying to work out now what I want to use. Yes, we're going to use a touch of black. We're going to use a touch of black. So I'm just inking up some of these circles, just some of these circles on the edge of the stamp. And what I'm going to do is just add some here. Just add some here. Just add a touch of black. I just want to add a touch of black. But couldn't bear to give them away. They're on the fireplace now. Oh, bless Linda. Couldn't bear to give them away. That's cute. So I'm just inking the circles up on this stamp. I'm just inking the circles up on this stamp. And I'm not going to rush my journal page. I want to make sure that I just don't overpower the pages. I don't want to overpower the pages. I was concentrating then. I was just concentrating on what I was doing then. So I'm just adding these little bits of circles here and there to my page. Just here and there to my page. I'm not overpowering the page. I'm not overpowering it with circles. I don't want to take over. I want to keep some white space. I want to keep some open space. Open space draws the eye in. In Scotland, we're not going back until the 18th. Yeah, that's the same as us. We're the 18th, I think. We're the 18th as well. Right, let's bring in our beetles. Let's bring in our beetles. Just bring in our beetles, like so. Just so I can see where they're going. Just so I can see where they're going. Where's my... There it is, just so I know. I'm just seeing where my beetles are going. Just so that I can add. Yes, I'm quite happy with how the beetles look there. So sorry. Oh, Sue, you don't have to apologise. It's a bank holiday. We're all doing different things. We're all doing different things. Oh, bless Alison. I love guessing where you will stamp next, and I'm ridiculously happy when I get it right. That's so funny, that is, Alison. So I'm just sticking my little beetles down. I'm just sticking my little beetles down. So I do have to think about just where they're going. I do have to think about where they're going. I need to have the balance right. It just takes a bit of time just for them to adhere. Where's my scrap paper? Where's the other piece? On the floor. So I'm just going to press that down with a piece of scrap paper. It does depend on the age group. It does. It does depend on the age group, who's going back and when. It does depend. But I'm enjoying at the moment creating journal pages, because I can look back, and then if I want to create a card or a mixed media piece, I've got something to look back on to inspire me. I don't want to lose all the ideas, so it means then I can look back on the page. No problem, Sue. You watch from the beginning in your own free time. In your own free time. And I do tend to faff a little bit. I do tend to faff. I must admit, I do faff. Right, let's get these wings. Let's get these wings. Oh yes, we're definitely adding wings. We're definitely adding wings. So I nearly put him away then. I nearly put him away. Oh, but for me, what I was thinking when I was doing it was that I can use the journal to put my ideas in, and then when I need a card idea or I need a mixed media idea, I can combine different pages into the mixed media piece if I want to. It means I've got something to look back on. I've got something to look back on. And I have got a stamp with days of the month on. It's somewhere in my pile. And I want to add January 2021 on here. I have got the stamp somewhere. I'll have to see if you'll let me look for it. I'll have to see if you'll let me look for it. Actually, it might be A6. Hang on. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'm just looking, just to see if I can find it now. Just bear with me a second. Just let me see if I can find it. You just talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. I've got it. Oh, it's got no packaging in. Hang on a minute. Tell you what, bring the basket out. Bring the basket out. Bring the basket out. There it is. I'm going to use this one to add the date on. Just to add January 21 on. But I'll do that in a minute. Just add my wings. I quite like the wings. I do like the wings. You don't want too much dimension. There's a one-day special on a Chanja. Yeah, it's my sewing sets. There's a one-day special on my birthday on the 7th of Jan. Next Thursday, and it's with my sewing sets, and I'm actually prepping a workshop at the moment with the sewing sets as well. I'm actually prepping a workshop. Let me show you. I've started. I'm just prepping a workshop now for the sewing sets, so I'm just prepping one now. But yes, oh, bless you, Patricia. Yes, you'd be brilliant, Patricia, with your artwork. I love your artwork, Patricia. I think you should do you should break into your journal, Patricia. Happy New Year, Bernie. Hello, Flower. So I'm just going to bend my wings a little bit. Obviously, they'll flatten when you turn your page. Oh, thanks, Dawn. So I'm just adding my little beetle. I love this fat beetle. Do you know, I'm so strange. What is the heart? Is it a stencil? No, I cut it out of card. It was a die that I used, but you can actually cut one freehand. But it was just a heart die. But yes, I'm going to do it as a workshop. So I'm just pressing this down because I've got to hold that down because it needs to stick. It needs to stick. So my mind is jumping from one project to the other that I have to try and sit and just... You already have them, Jill. Yay, thanks, Jill. I have no idea what else is in the show. Yay, Michelle. It's good that you're using your scraps up. You see, I just love that. Love it. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to add some touches of black. No, I don't, you see. You see, this is where you have to know when to use something and when not to use something. I don't want to use them blacks because the black is too much. So I'll use them for another project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bit of my washi tape. I'm going to use a little bit of the washi tape. The Beetle washi tape I'm going to use a bit of. I'm going to use a little bit of the Beetle washi tape. That's better. It doesn't detract from the pages. You have to know when to say no, something doesn't go. You don't want stuff to detract from your page. So don't add stuff that you think detracts from your page. So I'm now using the Beetle washi tape. That I've just ordered the frayed burlap. So I'm just adding the tape. I'm just going to add the washi tape in a few places. And I do like to tear the edges. I do love the torn edges. I just love the torn edges. Any clues on what your next design subject is on? No, I'm still working on it. At the moment. I need about 20 more hours in the day, to be honest. I love the wings on the bug. As well. I think it's lovely. So I'm just adding some washi tape. Just to give me some elements. I have to mess around with composition. I don't just like to chuck it down. I don't want to chuck it down. It has to have some thought to it. And I like my washi tape to have torn edges as well. And to be quite random. I do like the washi tape to be quite random. So I'm just tearing. That's it. Just move that on one side. I will lift this up so you can see. I have to rack my brain. Lynn. You should see me at night. When I'm going to bed, it's hilarious at night. Because if I come up with an idea, I have to get back up and write it down. I'm just like that. Oh, I love them drawers. I've actually got the drawers in my dining room because there's no room in my craft room. So I've actually put the vintage drawers in my dining room because there's just no room. Right, so I don't want to, again, I'm not going to overpower the whole page. You want to keep some of that open space. You want to keep some of that open space. You don't want it to be too much. And I love how the Beetles look. And what I keep a notepad next to the bed as well, Colleen. I've always do that, keep a notepad next to the bed. I'm terrible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my ephemera digits. I'm going to use the ephemera digits. And I'm going to add some of the stamping just to here. Let me just add this now. I'm just trying to keep the pages. Let's move the glue so that you can actually see the pages. It's very difficult so you can see the pages. I know, in the morning it's gone. In the morning it's gone. I agree. By the time you leave it in the morning, it's gone. So I'm just stamping the number 6. And then I'm just going to use my kitchen roll just to dab the number 6 so it's not quite as pristine, just so it's a little bit more random. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the number 6 here. Just randomly. Yes, that's much better. So I need to add another number now. Just adding the numbers again from the ephemera digits, just from the ephemera digits. And we're not far off finishing the page because I'm not going to overpower the whole page with too much detail. I'm not going to overpower the page with too much detail. Bet you dream of design. Oh, honestly, Linda, designing, it's like you never switch off. You never switch off. But then if I've got no design ideas or I want a break, I'll take a break. I won't just design for the sake of designing. I don't think there's any point in that, because that doesn't do anybody any good. Just designing for the sake of designing. You know, I want it to be, you know, a good product, not just design for the sake of designing. So I'm just adding this here. That's it. That's enough numbers now. It's nicely balanced. It's nicely balanced. I don't want to add any more. I just want to add the word vintage here. So I'm just going to wipe my stamp. Just going to wipe my stamp. I have an Alexa in the bedroom, so if I have an idea in the night, I just asked her to add it to my list. Doesn't go down too well with hubby. Hey, perhaps I need an Alexa. Perhaps I need an Alexa. Perhaps that's what I'm missing, an Alexa. What do you think? So I'm just typing the word vintage. No, I'm not typing it. I'm just inking it. What am I on about? Typing it. Just added the word vintage here. Just added the word vintage. Oh, watch this space, Karen. Watch this space. So I'm just going to add that vintage wording again. Add that vintage wording again. I'm just going to add that vintage wording again. Sorry, I am taking my time because I don't want to spoil the page. I don't want to spoil it. I like it that they don't date, Linda. I don't want stuff that dates. But I definitely won't make something if it's not. If it's not worth making, then I won't do it. So let's just move these so we've got the page. So this is what the page is looking like now. And what I'm going to do is, let's just have a look at that. Let me just have a look at these words. Just let me, I want to add the date stamp because I do want to try and date my pages. A Jenny Wren. Oh, yes, a Jenny Wren. I'm trying to do, I might do less this time, less designs. Just for, I'm just trying to think. I've not decided yet. I've not decided yet. Like so. And then where's my date stamp? I just want my date stamp because what I'm going to do is I'm going to date my pages. I've got nowhere to put everything. Everything is just chucked. It takes me an hour to clean up afterwards. So I'm going to use my date stamp because I just want to date it January. January. Why do I have to read it out? Why do you, when you pick a stamp up, why do I have to read it out 3 times? Can you tell me? So I'm just going to ink that up and I'm just going to put January on my page. Move this up. Just adding the January. And let me get a black pen. Get a black pen. I think I have to clean for a week. Then I know that I've done that page in January 2021. It's something to look back on. I'm now going to add some of my white splatters. Where's my white splatters? Just going to add some white splatters, and then I just want to add one more word. I just want to add one more word, I think. I am used to repeating, Hope. I am. I'm so used to repeating everything that I do it all the time now, but I'm terrible at when I've got a sentiment, I read it out to myself. I just can't help myself. I read it out to myself. So that's got them. And what I want to do, yes, because I just want to add the January 2021, then I know when I did it. And what I'm going to do now is get this stamp, put the wings back, put the wings back. Where does the time go? Can anybody tell me? It just disappears. I want the bug lettering. So I'm just going to get the bug, put the January back, or else that'll go missing. And then I'm going to use the bug stamp. Use the bug stamp. Just stamp this on white card. I'm used to it. Don't you hear it anymore now, Karen? Karen's brainwashed now. Karen's brainwashed. I'm scurrying. It's a good job things need repeating, Lynn, because it's a habit now. It's a habit now. I've brainwashed some people. Poor Karen's absolutely brainwashed. Poor thing. So I'm just adding the word bug to my page. Dump that down. Cut that out. Nearing the end now. I'm having some dental surgery next week, and apparently I will look a bit battered and bruised, so I will be crafting until I'm fit to be seen. Oh, bless Lindy. Yeah, hopefully the dentist work will be worth it, though. The dentist work will be worth it. Hubby is watching rugby and I'm watching Tracy. Yes, I don't know what my hubby's watching, but to be honest, there's been that much sport on. I have no clue what's on anymore, because there's that much sport on all the time that it just gets ridiculous. I think that's why I like it, because I can craft. I like it because I can craft. So my bug is going there. Let's just add some colouring around the edge. Just get myself an index clip. I've loved doing these journal pages. It just takes me out of myself. I just enjoy creating them. It's just so nice. So I couldn't get your voice out of my head. Poor Karen. After the 5-day workshop, she couldn't get my voice out of her head. Oh, isn't that awful? Poor Karen. My voice was ringing through her head after 5 days. It's not surprising, really, is it? It's not surprising, really. Poor Karen. She's brainwashed. She's absolutely brainwashed now. Just, I need to add that there. And that is my page done. So let me just lift them up so you can see all the details. Just so that you can see all the details. So you can see the colours, the numbers. So you can see it all. The numbers, the textures, the pages. Exactly, Anne. Start small and then build confidence. Just look at the colours on that. I just think the colours are wonderful. And I will do some bright pages as well, but I just wanted this to follow on from the previous page, just so you could see that it followed on. There we go. I was just reading Catherine's message then. You'll get there, Catherine. I enjoyed that. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Diane. And I will draw a winner for the stamp set probably Monday. I'll draw the winner of the stamp set on Monday. I'll draw the winner on Monday. So I've really enjoyed that. It was quite pleasant. You're very welcome, Monica. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. So that's another page done in my journal. Another page done in my journal that I'm really happy with. I love it. I just love it. I'm so pleased with it. I love that beetle with the wings. I just think he's so cool. I love it. Oh, thank you, Roz. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. Thank you. So I will be back with another live. I've just got some prep to do, but I will be back with another live soon. So I will see you all soon. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you. I've so enjoyed this. Thank you. You're very welcome, Lynn. Thanks, Joe. So I'll see you all soon. I'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Anne. I hope you're feeling better, Anne. Bye for now. Bye.